Some exciting new legal developments for former FTX executive Ryan Salame. Is this Salame?
Salem. It's Salem.
Salam. I don't know. Yeah, Khazit, as they would say in Arabic. Anyway, after pleading guilty on Thursday to federal criminal charges tied to the exchange. Joining us now to discuss is CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of the, I'm going to say this as a fellow newsletter editor, the best newsletter in the planet, CoinDesk State of Crypto newsletter. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Oh,
Happy Friday.
Indeed. So, Ryan Salame. Shloimi.
It looks like it's Salem. It sounds like it is actually Salem.
I don't know. It's like you want to say it's Salame. It's might be, the defendant, definitely. What did he plead guilty to?
Yeah, so yesterday he showed up in court, pled guilty to conspiracy to defraud the Federal Election Commission and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitter. Two charges that originally appeared on his former boss, Sam Bankman-Fried's, own indictment. The Federal Election Commission charge has since been dropped, but prosecutors say they're folding that into, his other charges, wire fraud specifically.
He also has to, there's $1.5 billion that he's forfeiting. Is that money from having the trademark to the name Salame?
So what's really interesting is that was the detail that was read out in court by the judge. And obviously, that became everyone's headline. But it looks like he's actually off the hook if he pays $6 million by the time he's sentenced, turns over 2 houses, ownership and equity interest in the Eastrud Farm Corporation, which is a food business that he owns, and a Porsche 911 from 2021. So prosecutors could go after him for the full $1.5 billion if it turns out he lied on an affidavit, or if he lied about anything else, or otherwise interferes in their efforts to sell the property. But otherwise, he seems to be off the hook with just a $6 million.
How many miles on that Porsche do we know?
That was not read out in court.
Well, that's just asking for a friend.
They valued it at about $200,000. It looks like.
Really? Still? He's not that guy who goes on the FDR Drive, like blaring like house and hip hop, and then he doesn't have like those, I don't know, the neon on the undercarriage.
I guess if 200,000 is the original sale value, then that might just have been the original value that they're looking at. But yeah, either way, it looks like he is, he only has to meet a certain set of requirements, and he's off the hook for the full $1.5 billion. If he violates those requirements, then yes, he has to find the $1.5 billion. Prosecutors did say in a document circulated after the hearing that the $1.5 billion was, specifically funds tied to the second charge, i.e. the conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitter, implying that is all, those are FTX funds. I'm still waiting to, hear word on does he have access to $1.5 billion worth of FTX funds? And B, if not, does anyone? Or, where'd that figure come from, basically?
All right, Nick. Salem played a key role in the exchange's political fundraising operations. We know that Sam Bankman-Fried is facing charges related to campaign finance. What does this guilty plea mean for those charges, if anything?
So I think the big question everyone had is, will Salem now testify against Bankman-Fried as a result of the guilty plea? So far, it does not appear that that's the case, but at the very least, the fact that he's pleaded guilty means that, the prosecutors have enough written evidence that they can make that case. And I imagine that is something we will definitely see pop up at trial.
Be interesting to see if he gives up the Porsche, by the way. I know somebody who ended up getting divorced because her husband wouldn't sell. Yeah, no, like literally, she goes, "Hey, you should sell the Porsche." And he goes, "No." And she goes, "Oh, I'm getting divorced. That's it." And they got divorced because he wouldn't sell the Porsche. Like, people are nuts about their Porsches.
I feel like in that situation, your whole identity. There's some other issues there. There's some underlying problems.
But it's like dude's identity. It's like dude's identity. is like wrapped up in this like car, you know? It's like, you know, the Rogaine doesn't work, so let me go get a Porsche.
It's good to know.
Saying. It's like this whole thing. It's this whole mentality.
All right, Nick, we will let you go and leave this conversation. Have a great weekend, Nick. Thanks for joining us.
You too. I'll head over to the car dealership to take a look at those right now.
Yeah, you're fine. You have a full head of hair, man.
That was CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day. And don't forget to sign up for the State of Crypto newsletter on CoinDesk.com.